In this video, we are going to fix a 12-hour format string to its latest possible value. Hello, this is Jagan from growwithdata. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in Python language with you. If this assists you in your interview preparation anyways, I will be happy. I have created a playlist Python interview questions 51 to 100 and I will be tagging this video to that playlist. The code we discuss in this video will be posted on GitHub and the link will be provided in the video description. Now let's see the sample input data and we can talk about the question in detail. So we are given a string s equal to a time format. Basically this is a hour and minute time format in 12 hours format. So basically it's supposed to be 11:59 is the maximum time you can mention in this format, or 00 is the starting part of it. So between 0 and 11:59, there can be any time point they can give. But the thing is, they give you a question mark. That means that position is missing. So you can replace the question mark with any number which is a valid time format, the hour minute time format in the 12 hours format, and then you get the latest value, the latest possible value out of it. For example, for this, right? So s equal to this one question mark. So one question mark is, we can replace this with 10 and 11. You can't make it 12 because it goes to the next format, right? 24 hours format, right? Okay. And then question mark 4. Question mark 4. So what are the things you can make? Like 04, 14, 24, 34, 44 and 54. So these are the possible values for the question mark and 4. So the latest possible value we can give is the hour is 11 and the minute is 54. So the expected output for this string is going to be 11:54. Right? Okay. If we are going to give another sample, let's go with another sample s equal to 0 question mark and 5 question mark. So for 0 question mark, what are the possible values you can give? It can be 0, 1, 0, 02, 03, 04, 5, 6 and 07, 08, 09. Then it's going to be 10, which is out of the format. And you have 5 question mark for the minute. So we can say 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 7, 57, 58 and 59. So these are the possible values for 5 and question mark. So the latest is going to be 09 for hour and 59 for the minute. So the expected output for this string is going to be 0, 9 and 59. Right? So this is how you have to find the latest possible value for the given time string. Okay. Now how to convert that to a Python code? So whenever you are given a string and asked to manipulate and find some solution, the first thing comes to your mind is, okay, I take the string, I go for a looping, I read every element and then manipulate, right? So that's the first thing comes in your mind. For this question, this is not the right way of doing it, but we are going to start with our default process of taking the for loop. Okay, let's see how that behaves. So this is the input string and the expected output is going to be 11:54. Let's keep that here. Okay, now let's start our coding process. What we do, our function grow with data, the input string is yes. So we are going to have a output variable. We can split the string into a list and do that, but for easy purpose or explaining, it's really easy to explain for me to have a list like this. So I can put the output string, and then instead of going with I in range kind of thing, I'm going to use the enumerate. Index val in enumerate, yes, because I need the index as well as the value. So how this enumerate works, I can just show you the values first before you process. Okay, so I'm going to call the function to show how the enumerate works. So this will read every element and the index position. So the first value is the index, which is 0, and the val is the value for that index position, and question mark is the index position 1, and then go 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of, right? So this is how the enumerate works. Okay, now what I'm going to do, first I'm going to check the first index position. If the index value is equal to 0, right? If the first index position, I'm going to check if the value is equal to a question mark. Okay, if first is the question mark, so what are the possibilities we can do? The second one is also can be a question mark, right? So we can say if the s of whatever the index position we are in, go to the next position and check if that index position is also a question mark. If both are question mark, the maximum value you can put is 11, right? The hour basis, it's 11. So I can say if the first index position value is question mark and the second is also question mark, that means both the hours are question mark. So I can simply say the output dot append, the first value I can put is 0. Oh, sorry, for both the question mark, I make it as 1, right? Make it 11 is the maximum I can put in. Else if that second position is going to be something like greater than or equal to 2, that means it's 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So the maximum is 11, 59. So 11 is the second position, maximum it can go is 1 if it's a more than 9, like 10 or 11. That means the second position is going to be 0 or 1. If it's more than 2, that means it's going to be 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 kind of, right? So that's where the second position is going to be greater than or equal to 2. Then we can say the output dot append, we can say it's going to be 0. If it's 2, 3, I can't put 1, 2 colon, right? So that means it becomes 12. So if you see this, first value is going to be 1 and 2. That means it's beyond 11:59. So we can't make it. So whatever the value is, if it's 2, then the first value is going to be 0 by default. Okay. Now, if I covered the question mark, I covered is greater than or equal to 2. If there is no value like question mark or 2, then it's supposed to be like 0 or 1, right? So if it's 0 or 1, that means the first value can be 1, the maximum. So we can make 1, 0, 1, 1 combination. So I say else the output dot append, I can say this as 1. So it can be 0 or 1 based on the second position, whether it's a question mark or greater than or equal to 2, or it can less than 2. Okay. So if the if condition is not, sorry, the value is not question mark, then you can simply use the output dot append whatever the value is. Simple, right? So first question is done. If we go for the next one, if the index is going to be 1, if it's the first value is going to do the what to say, the first point is going to define the second one. If its first point is 0, then the second can be 0 to 9. If first is 1, the second can be 0, 1. That's what the combination we can think of. So if the value is equal to a question mark for the second position, then we have to see what is the first value. If the s of index minus 1 is also a question mark, right? If that is the case, then you can say output dot append append. If it's a question mark, then the max you can go is 11. So I go with that. If it's not a question mark, then else if the s of index minus 1 is going to be 1. 1 means we can get 0 or 1. That's the maximum we can go for. So the output index, we can go for 1, which is the maximum. Else, the only option is the first one is going to be 0. So the output is going to be 9. So that's what we can give. So the first value is question mark. That means the maximum you can go is 11. So we can put 1. Or the first value is going to be 1. The two combination is 1, 0, 1, 1. The two combinations can be possible. So we can go with 1, which is the maximum. If not, the first position is going to be 0. So the maximum you can get is 0, 9. So I put 9. So if the val is not equal to question mark, that means it's a good number, then we can just say output dot append whatever the value is. So we fix the our part. Then we have the colon part, right? So the index equal to 2, then you can simply say output dot append that val. That is the colon, right? Fine. Now the our part. So if the index equal to 3, that means the first hour. So if the value equal to a question mark, then we can simply say the maximum goes 59, right? So the first value is going to be 5. So output dot append 5. If not, we can simply copy the value. Same way for 4. For 4, if it's question mark, then the maximum you can go is 9, right? 59. So 9. If not, you have the default value. So the output will have all the combinations now. I'm going to return output. Let's see what it brings. Brings an error. If infix equal to 3, oh okay, index, not infix. So the output is going to be 1. Oh, we are doing yes, we have put output. Oh, yes is the input, return output. So what am I doing wrong? Output is this. I put if okay, index is 0, then I put append this, and the index is 1. I append this. Index equal 2, I append this. And 3, I'm append this. And 4, I'm doing this. Okay, I have to return here, next part, right? Okay. Because when I do this if condition, the final value is what going to return in the output. That's why. Okay, now I got 1154. 1154 is what is expected. Correct. Okay, so we got the answer. So if I want to find more test cases, then I can use the assert function. It's throwing an error 1154. Let's check what is going to be the value. So I have output and I have yes. So I'm going to print here print the output and yes. So the output is going to be 1154. Yes. So the function is grow with data is the same. Grow with data. So what is expected? 1154. Oh, see, this value is a list of elements. It's not a string. We are expecting a string. So when I return, I just say this dot join the output. Now it says 09. What's the error here? Index is greater than or equal to 2. Because this value, when you read, it's going to be a string, right? So every element is going to be a string. So when I compare the string, if it's equal to, then that's not a problem. String equal to the element. For example, you go 1 equal to 1. So it will just have the Boolean value. If I say 1 greater than, then it throws an error. So the equal works fine with different data types, but when you go for the greater than or less than symbol, it throws an error. So whenever I do the greater than symbol, like here, it compares string with a number. So it throws an error. So I put int and convert that to a string, and then I run it. I get all the values passed. So the main correction is when I do the process, I am taking the string, every element, and I am appending to the output. So when the output comes, it's going to be a list of elements. So when I return, I make sure I join everything and make it as a string first. Second one is when I compare a string with a number, like if 1 equal to string of 1, it works fine. But when I do greater than symbol, I make sure both the elements are same data types. Okay, so these are the two corrections I did, and the code works fine. I pass with all the test cases. Now, just if you take a break and think, we just have a fixed 5 string character, right? So whatever happens, we have 5 character length of a string, and we have to go with all the elements, right? We have to go with first index position, and then second index position, third index position. So we go with all the index position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we are manipulating it. So why are you going for a loop, right? So if 0 comes, yes, I go to here, and 1 comes, I go to here. Even then, if I don't go with loop, again I have to go for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to check everything. So I can simply take this and completely remove the looping option. So I can take this code. I don't want to go with the loop. I can directly go and check the list. Only 5 elements. Every element I can go check. So instead of output, as I told you before, I can just have a list of yes. So which is going to convert the string to a list. So if I have a string like this, if I say list of yes, list of yes, then it's going to get all the elements and put that as a list of elements, right? So this is what I'm trying. So first I'm taking the string, break down into elements and put that in a list. Now I don't want this for loop at all. I'm just going to say in the index position, I'll just say yes of 0 is the first one. If s of 0 is equal to the question mark, and we are going to check the next position. So and s of 1 is also a question mark. Then I am going to say s of 0, s of 0 is going to be, if both are question mark, the maximum I can give is 11, right? That's the maximum I can give. So I can simply say s of 0 equal to 1 and s of 1 is also equal to 1. Because both are question marks, the maximum I can give is 11. So I can just hard coded it. If not, right? If both are not question mark, if only the s0 is question mark, right? Else if s of 0 is equal to a question mark and s of 1 is going to have a valid value, then I can simply say s of 0 is going to be 0 if the next value, if the s of 1 is greater than or equal to 2. If it's less than 2, that means it's 0 or 1, right? So s of 0 is going to be 1. So you can make 10 or 11. And the greater than or equal to symbol is going to be string and the integer. So I'm going to convert this to a integer. That's what the error we saw last time, right? So this way I'll fix the s0 and the s1 part at the, if both are question marks. So s0 is done. Now I can go for the s1 part. So s1, I am going to say if s of 1 is equal to question mark, then I will say s of 1 is equal to 9 provided the first one, right? S of 0 is going to be 0. So if s of 0 starts with 0, then I can go for 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 till 0, 9. So the maximum is 9. Else, if the s of 0 is 1, that means I have 1, 0, 1, 1, both the combinations. So I put 1. So my s of 1 is also done. So I already have the string, the colon in it, right? So I have the colon in it. So the colon will be already there in the string. So I don't have to worry about it. So I can delete all this part. Then I go for the third one, which is the our part. I can say if s of 0, 1, 2, 3, right? If s of 3 equal to question mark, by default I can simply say it's 5, right? S of 3 is going to be 5 because we have only 59 as the max. And then if I say if s of 4 is equal to a question mark, then the max I can give is 9, right? 59. So s of 4 equal to 9. I can delete all this. Since it's going to be a list of elements, I can simply join that and get the output. So what I did, instead of going for a loop, I am going to every element and say, hey, if s of 0 is question mark and s of 1 is also question mark, the maximum I can give is 11. So I put s of 0 as 1, s of 1 as 1. So 11 is the maximum. If not, s of 0 is a question mark and s of 1 is having a value. Then if s of 1 is having like 0 or 1, then the s of 0 can be 1. So it can be 10 or 11 hour, right? Or if s of 1 is like 2, 3, 4, 5, then basically it has to be 0. So 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5 is what you can give. So max is 0, 9. So s of 0 is going to be 0. Same way s of 1. If s of 0 is equal to 0, the s of 1 max you can go is 9. If s of 1 is 0 is equal to 1, the max you can go is 1. So it can be 0, 9 or 1, 1. That's the max. So that's what you do it. And s3 and 4 is simple. The maximum is 5 and 9. If 3 is missing, it's 5. 4 is missing, it's 9. That's the max you can give. So we can do that. And we join the whole list of elements and we return it. And we throw an error if condition equal to, double equal to, again equal to 9. There's a bracket added to it. Okay, here. And it passes all the test cases. So this is like 3 or 4 if conditions, right? 4 if conditions. I can fix this rather than I go with the loop and do every index position. The index position is not at all required. We can directly use the if condition and read all the 4 positions and then we can fix it. Okay, we can further simplify this. How? So we have s of 0 if and else, and yes 1, 2, 3 are, sorry, 1, 3 and 4 are one if condition. So how will I simplify this? I'll say if s of 0 is question mark, I can just say s of 0 equal to 1 if s of 1 in a list of values, question mark, r is going to be 0, r is going to be 1. If this is the case, then s of 0 is going to be 1, else 0. We don't have to worry about s of 1 now. So we can remove else also. So basically, if s of 1 is question mark, or 0 or 1, the maximum we can give is s of 0 equal to 1, else we can make it as 0. So simply it will cover up s of 0. We don't go for the else condition multiple flows, right? You can completely remove this process and just put the possible values in a in condition and we cover up with one single if condition. So all the 4 positions, the hour and minute, I have a if condition, I fix it. So the first one, if you think about the looping process, then it's a waste of time and it's a bigger code. So it's always good to just think about the question, and there might be a simple and a stupid approach rather than going for a complex. Looping process is complex in this scenario, right? Okay, if you want to see this code we worked on, you can go to growwithdata YouTube channel, the playlist. This is going to be in the Python interview question 51 to 100. The Tamil version is Tamil Python interview questions 51 to 100. So I go to the playlist. Every video will have its corresponding GitHub link. So it will take you to the code base for that corresponding part. So this video is our 81st video. So that video will have this page link. So which got the first approach, the brute force method, and then the if condition for the block, if and else, and then we simplify everything with the in statement. So all these 3 scenarios are here. If you want to join the WhatsApp channel, then there is a link here. You can use this and join growwithdata WhatsApp channel. Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.